Today we're going to discuss skin tones and how I did this portrait of Temi Danso in Polychromos colored pencils. For those of you who are new here, my name is Michelle Moreus and I create art tutorials that are fun, easy, and accessible for everyone. There's approximately 7.9 billion people on Earth, and there are a million different skin tones and skin varieties, textures, and colors. I'm going to show you today how you build up some skin tones in colored pencils by layering, and we're going to do 3 different skin tones, a light, a medium, and a dark. I'm starting off the lightest skin tone example with an ivory pencil, and then we're going to go over it with a peach and a coral color and burnt ochre. As I finish each layer of the colored pencil, I'm going to change directions of my strokes, and this is going to fill up the tooth of the paper so that you get a nice even blend of your pencils and you won't see the white of the paper showing through. Now I'm using very light layers and very sharp colored pencils to control the pressure so that we're not scarring or ruining the tooth of the paper, so that we can't put down more layers on top. Now, if you're going to burnish, which a lot of people burnish for skin tones, you want to wait until your very end of your drawing to do your burnishing, because it will ruin the tooth of the paper. On our second example, we're doing a medium skin tone. We're going to start with the raw umber first, and we're going to go over it with a salmon color. We're going to use our ivory to blend everything together, and then we're going to go in with a little bit deeper shades and a dark chestnut color. I'm being careful to overlap each layer of my new colors with the previous one. This gives you a smoother blend and a more flawless finish. So you're just going to keep building up on those tones, making sure that you are overlapping and that you're changing direction in between each of those different colors. On our third example, we're going to do a darker skin tone. And with this, I'm starting with a green gold, and then I'm going over with some raw umber and some crimson red, and then we're going to add in some purple, which is an unexpected color, but this I'm using instead of black. Black can look very flat when you add it to drawings, and it really looks a lot better when you layer different colors to achieve a deeper tone rather than using your black. These are all examples of warm skin tones. I'll go over that in another video, talk about warm and cool tones, but in these examples, these are all warm tones. So you can layer different colors and try using colors that are opposite on the color wheel. I'll go over this in a color theory for beginners video down the road. For those of you who aren't familiar with Temi Danso, she is an art YouTuber who does amazing portraits, and her skin blends and her colors are just amazing. So I will leave a link below to her channel and you can check out some of her videos. She's also very entertaining and funny, and you will probably enjoy it the way I did. But I just had so much fun drawing her and using all of the principles that we just discussed about blending and adding in, we're using on this portrait. Now, you can speed up your color pencil drawings by doing a little bit of a base in either pan pastel, marker, or watercolor, and all of these things will speed up your work a little bit. Now, I was a little intimidated with a color portrait. I haven't done too many of them, so I did go in with the marker on her neck because it's the darkest part of the portrait, but I was afraid to kind of go into the face area with it, so we're just going to use the color pencils and keep building for all of the facial features. I don't do sections at a time for the most part. I like to kind of work on the drawing as a whole. And the reason for this is as you start to do certain sections, you can forget what colors you used to keep a really cohesive effect on the drawing. I like to, when I have that one pencil in my hand, to go in and kind of put that everywhere I see that it needs it. And just for the reason that I don't want to get lost and not remember what colors I used and then have like the left of the face look darker than the right or not the same tones. Now I'm going in with some marker in the hair to just define the hair, and we're going to just map in with a little bit of gray and a little bit of black colored pencil to get the hair started, and I will go in further with some marker to darken that up later on. So now we're just worried about getting in and mapping in where all those facial features are, and then we'll start to pop our highlights and our shadows. So it's all about building up slowly and gradually. Colored pencil works best in light layers, and you want to have nice sharp colored pencils on hand ready for you when you're starting your drawing. I like to pre-sample out all my colors before I start, and I have them on a piece of paper next to me. And this way, when I'm looking for a specific color, I can just refer back to my chart and know that I'm gonna get that right color that I'm looking for out of that pencil. When you're drawing hair, you want to draw it in clumps. So you see where there's some darker shadows, and then there's some lighter highlights. I added in a little bit of blue in the highlights of her hair because it's reflecting light in a different way, and I'm taking it kind of in sections. So there are sections that are underneath other sections which are going to be darker, and then there's going to be some highlighted areas where the strands are coming over the other strands of hair. Now with the lips, her upper lip is more the color of her face, and the bottom lip is going to be more with the lipstick showing and a little bit brighter and maybe a little bit peachy. And then I'm going to pop those highlights in her lip as well with a Jelly Roll pen towards the end. You want to always pay attention to where your light source is coming from. In this case, she has a heavy highlight on her forehead as well as on her high cheekbones, and you want to make those cheeks look round. So I've gone in with a little bit of that salmon color and just given her a little bit of rosy cheek, but being mindful that there's kind of more of a shadow on the left side of her face where her hair is coming over. There's also going to be a little shadow darker where the hair kind of goes over the forehead and the side of her cheek. So I wanted to put in a little bit of a color in the background of the paper, so the paper wasn't just bright white. So I've gone in with some graphite powder on a sponge, and I've given kind of a little bit of a shadowy effect in the background. So you'll see me, I'll go in and I'll deepen that up a little bit, and it just adds so much more to the drawing to have a little bit of a background rather than just the white paper. It also makes the hair pop a bit more to have that background be a little bit of an ombre kind of look. I'm going in with a black marker, and I'm just reinforcing the blacks in her hair and really making that pop out, and I'm juxtaposing that with a little bit more blue in the highlights of her hair just to give it a real more dramatic effect. Now I'm going in with a very fine point permanent black pen, and I'm putting in her eyelashes. I feel like it gives a cleaner look to the eyelashes than using a black colored pencil. So I did go ahead and put those in with a very fine permanent black marker. If you're enjoying today's tutorial, please smash that like button, leave me a comment below. I promise I'll get back to each and every one of you. I really love hearing from you guys in the comment section. Check out Temi Danso's website and her information in the description box below, as well as all of the materials that I'm using today. I want to thank you so much for joining me, and happy art!